Ryan Lilly here with Old Town on the shores of Lake, where are we? Tenkiller in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. It's a beautiful 70-degree day. Man, what a difference 24 hours makes. It is just mentally better to be outside today. Yesterday was a struggle, as we talked about with our anglers, and as we showed you, it was cloudy, it was cold, the wind was blowing, and man, today really turned around. It warmed up. It was a lot more comfortable to be out there, and the fish bite turned on, which is super exciting, and we kind of predicted that was going to be the case. A lot of great fish were caught today. Some of those great fish were caught by our team, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So it is day one of the Bassmaster Kayak Championship. It is a two-day format. So day one and day two, you catch the best 5 fish of day one, coupled with the best 5 fish of day two, which gives you your grand total length, and the longest length wins. So we're looking for 5 long fish each day, and you know, it's pretty incredible to watch it unfold as the day progressed. We really didn't see a ton of long fish today. It seemed like most of the decent fish that were caught today were 16 to 19 inches, and so we're excited to see if things change even more tomorrow. It's going to be another warm day. We're going to have some cloud cover. As you can see, it's a crystal clear, few clouds in the sky, but a clear day, and so things could change again tomorrow with the continued warm-up and with cloud cover. So really excited to see what tomorrow brings. So this two-day format is a catch photo release tournament, meaning that unlike the elite anglers that fish from bass boats that bring their bag of fish to the weigh-in and weigh the total bag, these anglers are catching their fish and measuring their fish on a pre-approved measuring board that's certified by Bassmaster. They take the photo of the fish and then release the fish alive. And even if they catch 20 fish throughout the day or 50 fish throughout the day, it's the best 5 that counts. So if they get on to a hot bite early in the day and catch their 5 fish, they can continue to cull that bag if they catch a bigger fish later in the day. So it's a super dynamic, fun tournament to watch and to follow along on. And I'll remind you again at the end, but if you do want to follow along with this tournament and with our team, you can follow tomorrow's progress until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at tourneyx.com. Okay, exciting day of competition. I want to update you on, or bring you up to speed on, the top 3 anglers in the field currently. In first place after day one is Guillermo Gonzalez of Texas with a total bag length today of 92.75 inches. In number 2 is Jimmy Thomas of Oklahoma, so a local boy, with 92.25 inches. And it's worth noting he's fishing out of a Sportsman PDL 120. Good on you, Thomas. And then sitting in third place is Bennett Null of South Carolina with a bag length of 90.75 inches, also fishing out of a Sportsman PDL 120. So congrats to those guys for securing top 3 spots on day one. They're sitting really nice going into day two. It takes a little bit of the pressure off by having a nice bag to work off of starting tomorrow. Now I want to get into our team. We had a few of our team do very well given the stiff competition that was out there today. Sitting in a pretty good position right now is Garrett Morgan of Arkansas. He's only 3 hours away. He only lives 3 hours away. He's only fished this lake a couple days out of his life. So even though he's close in proximity, you know, this is a new lake for him. And for him to chalk up an 86.5 inch bag, come on in here, Garrett, was really exciting. And we actually got one of the most dramatic fish catches I think we've caught on camera in a long time while we're sitting there watching you fish. Tell me about your day.
Man, I'm ready to see that video, by the way. I was pretty hyped when I caught that one. You know, I've just got live scope over the last 3 months, put in a lot of work learning to use that thing. Today I really wanted to focus on smallmouth. Unfortunately, the weatherman keeps his job and he's never right. You know, it paid off early. I wanted to make a move at noon and go to some other stuff I had, but with the weather doing what it did, I just saved it all for tomorrow because I think it'll fish better tomorrow than it would have today. Most of my fish I actually saw on live scope and caught them that way, doing some finesse fishing stuff. got a couple good ones early. Then there was a long spell where I was really worried there if I was, even going to get a limit. And I ran probably 4 spots that I had where I caught fish in practice with nothing. Ran to a 5th one, which was a pretty good distance. So autopilot did his job, get me over there. Go in, someone's coming out of there. Pretty good angler too, and I go in behind them and I'm catching 6 fish, and one of them was a 17 and some change, like 17.75 I think. So that was pretty much the end of the day. Afternoon I ran some other stuff, found some fish in some shaded areas, but nothing that could help me.
Now you said you're going to change locations tomorrow. Are you going to stay with the same sort of strategy on how you caught the fish today, even though it's a change of location?
Yeah. I'm onto a bait that I think really just replicates the bait fish here, and they just, if you put it in their face, they're gonna eat it. So
yeah, and the reason why he's being coy is because the competition's still going, and all those millions of people that are out there watching right now, undoubtedly, we don't want information to leak, because that's part of your game plan, is you want to keep that under wraps until the end of the tournament. So that's why you're seeing a little bit of tight-lippedness. But good job today, man. It's worth noting that you mentioned you're using forward-facing sonar. That is something that really has come into play the last few years. Only a few anglers were using it a few years ago, and now it seems like every other kayak has some sort of forward-facing sonar set up on their kayak. Can you talk a little bit about how that's changed the way you approach a competition?
I tell you, for somebody like me that's got kids, full-time job, doesn't get as much practice time, it really helps you avoid a bunch of dead water where there's no fish. So the event prior to this, I actually fished at Logan Martin. I'd only been there one other time and didn't get the practice, just showed up, dropped the live scope in, found fish, and did okay in that one too. So it really helps you just eliminate water that really you're just there's nothing around there to catch. So that's been the biggest help for me, is narrowing down where I want to fish in the short amount of time that I have to practice.
Right. Well, hey, thank you so much. We look forward to getting out there tomorrow and rest up. We'll see you again tomorrow. So forward-facing sonar, for those that aren't aware, it is a fish finding device that you mount on your kayak or your boat. And traditionally, sonars have either looked down or beside your kayak, either down imaging or side imaging. But in the last few years, a few of the fish finder companies have innovated and brought to market a forward-facing sonar. So it's almost like an eyeball that looks out beyond you. So rather than seeing things in the history, you're able to see into the future and see where the bait are, see where the fish are, and present your bait, and even watch your bait trickle down to where the fish are and see them react to what you present them, or not react, and then be able to switch it up. So forward-facing sonar has increase the level of competition, and for those that aren't fishing it yet, are planning to probably implement forward-facing sonar, because it does give you a distinct advantage. All right, next, I want to call in Casey Reid, who is within striking distance at 28th, currently after day 1 with a bag of 83.25. How you doing today?
I'm doing a lot better than this week, so.
I think you said to me on the water when we came up to take some photos that you had caught more fish today than you have the entire pre-fish.
Yeah, I probably caught 20 bass today, and I mean, I had a limit on one day of practice, and the rest of the days of practice I didn't even catch a limit. So I mean, yeah, I did real good today as far as what I was expecting. Do
you attribute that to weather only, or is that a change in your approach or strategy?
It's a big part of it's weather, and it's strategy as well, because a lot of times when I'm practicing, I'm not trying to catch a bunch of fish, but I do like to see some fish in the areas, which I didn't feel like I was doing. So a little bit of both for sure.
Yeah. Now, your game plan for tomorrow, are you going to rinse and repeat, or are you looking to mix things up tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the spots I was fishing today are going to reload. I think there's still fish going to be there. They may move around a little bit, may have to track them down, but there's still going to be fish in there.
Now, you're a seasoned tournament angler. You've been in the game since it became a thing. I feel like you've been you're one of the most veteran people within the kayak fishing space. You have a lot of experience. Can you talk a little bit about the 2-day format and how, even if you're sitting, top 20, top 30%, how day 2 can change dramatically?
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced it a lot. Day 2, if you don't catch fish, you're going to fall way down on the leaderboard. So you have to continue it up. You have to put up at least the same amount of inches that you put up on the first day to stay in the same spot or move up. But there will be a lot of people that go out and get 5-6 more inches than they had today, and they'll move up, but there'll also be quite a bit that don't catch them as good and that will fall. So it's going to kind of depend on how that goes. I think tomorrow is going to be another good fishing day. It's definitely going to change because of the cloud cover, so I think you'll see some people catching them that didn't necessarily today, and some catch them that didn't. So
yep. Now it's hard, I think we're showing B-roll of Casey in action on the water today. It's hard not to recognize how pimped out his kayak is. He's got 2 large screens on there, one with forward-facing sonar, one with side imaging. He's using those to fish, and he's got every single rod that he owns, and probably has borrowed a few extra. I mean, you've got probably 20 rods on there. Now, talk a little bit about how you approach what you take out on the water, how you set your kayak up, and how that makes the difference for you to be competitive.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's the electronics. They're huge. It started out when I got the Humminbird side imaging years ago. That absolutely blew my mind on what you could see out there that a lot of other people weren't seeing on the bottom of the lake, and that really helped me, and that really got me to really focus on using electronics. And then now you have the 360 and the live, and it just goes that much further. And I'm still trying to figure out the live real good, but it's helped me out in a lot of situations, and it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much. Good luck. You're sitting really nice for tomorrow, and if you're on the same sort of pattern, you're going to be in the money. I have a feeling.
Yeah, that's the goal. We'll see what tomorrow brings. So.
And remind me, is it top 16% or top 16 anglers that are in the money?
I'm not sure. I think it's 15% that they pay out. It's either 10 or 15% that they pay.
Out of, I'm terrible at math, so I'm not even going to try, but there's 160 or so anglers that are in this competition. So take the top 16% of that figure, and that gives you the amount of people. 24 people will walk away with a check from this competition. You're sitting in a really good spot to go home and at least recoup some of the money that you spent getting here, maybe even be able to buy that nice steak dinner, or maybe even friggin' win the thing. I'd love to see that too.
I hope to cash a check and really hope to get to walk across the stage. I got to experience that a few years ago at Possum Kingdom, and it was just amazing. And one year I fell a little bit short, missed by 1 fish, but I would have walked across. So it's kind of a long shot here, but anything's possible. So we'll see. We'll try to go out there tomorrow and catch them and try to make it happen.
Well, thanks so much, Casey. Good luck. Rest up. We'll see you out on the water tomorrow. So you just referred to the Bassmaster Classic stage. For those that are living under a rock, Bassmaster is pretty much the equivalent of the Super Bowl of fishing. It is what everyone strives for as an angler, as a competitive angler, is to get on that Bassmaster Classic stage. It is just, there's a level of prestige and honor that goes into it because it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to get there. So anglers understand the importance and how special it is to make the top 10 and to be able to walk across that stage and be recognized for all their efforts. And it's just kind of like, as you're a kid looking into the future, is something that you kind of dream of. So good luck, Casey. We're excited. I would like to call in Dale Griffin, who's also sitting within striking distance in 31st. Currently after day 1 with a bag of 82.5. We were able to, roll up on you towards the tail end of the day. You, I think, had a full bag at that point and maybe caught a couple culls toward the end, or were you still trying to reach that bag limit before the end of the day?
When y'all rolled up on me, I was still too short, and then went around a corner, and right after y'all left me, caught my last 2 fish, and then I culled 1 more time, and that was it for the day.
I told you as soon as we go away with the camera.
I tell you things in advance.
Yeah, that's true.
I already think.
So how's your game plan going to change? Are you going to go and rinse and repeat, or are you going to change things up for day 2?
So it seemed like the bite kind of picked up mid-morning once the sun came up, so I'm going to go try some things in the morning, see if I can't kind of what we call bonus fish before I key in on what I'm planning to do, and then hopefully they replenish, because the spots I'm planning to fish got beat pretty hard.
Yeah, and I'd love to know from your perspective how you think it's going to change with cloud cover tomorrow, if at all.
Since I'm mostly throwing moving baits and stuff, so I'm hoping the cloud cover mixed in with a little bit more wind. I think whenever y'all came in, y'all heard me asking for some wind. I'm hoping a little bit more wind helps me out, gets those fish moving, bait fish stirring, just a little bit more active.
Yeah, it was hard not to notice how calm it was most of the lake. I mean, we ran the lake today in the bass boat, you know, top to bottom, and it was pretty dead calm out there. When they were predicting 4 to 8 mile per hour winds with gusts to 20, I don't think we saw that at all today. But as it kind of started to ripple more later in the day, we noticed on the leaderboard that people started to put up more fish, and it almost seems like the chop really helps turn that bite on.
Yeah, it does. It seems like it gets bait fish moving, fish feeding, just fishing tends to get a little easier when you get a little more chop. I dread the flat calm days. Those seem to be some of the hardest days of fishing for me.
Now, Dale, you're a very consistent angler. You usually are within top 20% at least of these national tournaments when you fish them. So you're within striking distance. What would it mean to you to walk across that Bassmaster Classic stage?
So I tried at Logan Martin. That's been the only chance I've gotten. So I mean, it would be awesome. Like my dad was talking about trying to drive up if I make it, so that'd be awesome to see. That'd
be really special, and if that happens, we'll be there to film it and get all the emotions on camera. Good luck tomorrow. We look forward to seeing more from you tomorrow, and get some rest.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, the last angler I'd like to call in this evening is Alan Sweat, or AKA Mr. Fire Tiger, and I'd like to call attention to the fact that you were freezing cold yesterday, and you've got the flip-flops out. I mean, you can take the boy out of Florida.
Man, it's 80 degrees out here now. I mean, I'm loving it. I don't know why. Where was this all week? Is what I'm wondering.
It just makes it feel better now. Yeah. But I'd love to know how you approached today and how it ended up, because we noticed that you started putting fish up early.
Yeah, it started off early. I mean, I put 4 fish up really quick, and I thought, man, this is gonna, it's gonna happen. They weren't the right size, but I thought I was sort of onto something. And then just as the day progressed, I had a hard time catching the 5th fish, and so I spent probably too much time in one area, trying to catch that 5th one, and then it was just a little late to adjust and go for the bigger fish, which you guys brought some good luck later with the better one that I caught for the day in that area. But yeah, I mean, it was to me the bright sunny skies, and it wasn't cloudy. It was supposed to get cloudy in the afternoon, and that hurt. It didn't play into it. So I'm hoping tomorrow will be a little different with the clouds. Maybe loosen the fish up a little bit and make them a little more aggressive for the way I'm fishing.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't say this earlier. I'll say it now. You're currently sitting in 63rd. Again, not a bad spot given the fact that there's 100 anglers behind you. But you have a bag currently of 76.50. So if you have a magic day tomorrow, I could see you climbing up into the money. Talk to me about are you going to try to run the same program tomorrow, location-wise? You mixing it up?
Yeah, I think I'm going to start with the same idea, the same plan. I think that the weather change may end up having some type of a better impact on the fish. So I'm going to try to not mix it up too much. I mean, I don't know the lake that well, so it's sort of one of those things I'm going to go. I think there's some better fish in the area I'm fishing. I just need to go through and find them.
Awesome. Well, good luck, rest up, and we look forward to seeing more out of you tomorrow, Alan.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, take care. All right, and it's worth noting we have had a few other anglers that couldn't make it for the live tonight, but Anthony Garcia sitting in 39th with 81 inches, and we got Jim Davis toward the end. I haven't had a chance to catch up with him today to see what's going on, but he is in 150th with 12 inches of fish, so we wish him a better day tomorrow. So we want to thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited to announce Fire Tiger this week, the special edition Autopilot 120 and 136. That includes $75 worth of Berkley bait and tackle. And to celebrate that, we just announced an Instagram sweepstakes. So if you head on over to Old Town Fishing's Instagram page, the post that we posted today is the Fire Tiger sweepstakes. You could enter to win a brand new Autopilot in Fire Tiger with $75 worth of Berkley bait and tackle. All you need to do is like the post, comment on the post, tagging a friend, and like both Old Town and Berkley's pages on Instagram to be entered to win. It's only going to run for 1 week starting today. So next Wednesday we will close that down. We will select a winner, and one lucky person will walk away with a Autopilot in Fire Tiger. We're really excited to announce that today. If you want to tune in tomorrow night, we will be coming back at you from the Cherokee Casino in Tahlequah to announce who the top 10 is, and with any luck tomorrow we will have some anglers that have made the top 10. If not, we will definitely have anglers within the money. We would love to report live to you what happens. So tune in tomorrow evening around 5 p.m. Central Time. And if you're in Tulsa, or if you want to make a trip to Tulsa, stop on by the Bassmaster Classic Expo at the Cox Business Center. We're booth 214 starting on Friday. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to show you what we've got going on. And we have a couple of special announcements from Old Town Watercraft as well as Old Town Fishing on Friday. So make sure you stay tuned in, or if you're in the area, come on by and see us. That's all for tonight, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.